Okay. So I sent you an email like half an hour.
Yes.
Okay. Did we change things?
Well,
We crossed it out.
handwritten, because Dawn's gotta do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe you pull over and use DSMI,
Okay.
change to iWorks,
Okay.
and to try for a year and a half, 2 years. To do the switch over, they're having trouble. I don't just know, I looked at you guys.
I worked for the.
G Works?
G-Works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether the program is just starting to develop hiccups. So is blinding it.
Right, yeah.
She did it. There were 2 or 3 times it came out wrong, that I just said no before.
Right, yeah. Cause I did sense.
So here's the other, the bottom one.
Right, that should be correct, right? So let me go get my glasses, and I'll take a peek at their order copy of that sheet.
I got an email from Bennett, he wants these to be introduced, but I think he's gonna be remote. I haven't seen any emails go out.
Okay, so you can copy for me.
Yeah, and Bill and. I don't know. When showed up. No. Actually, copy for you. No.
Lauren, the yellow highlights on it, or it's on the, in that.
Oh, yeah.
I can maybe ask you what you sent.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. So we pull that out. They have it is there.
See, that's one of
So is it, and is that on the right time? It's nice to finally got it mounted.
That's right.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, the movie had to go. Oh, there's Ben, I see that on the,
Oh, yeah.
on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I see your mail later.
I don't know. So.
And it's there. Here. Oh, these are yours. What's doing over there?
I see that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, listen to this.
Yes, they're
big
cute.
fruit.
Yeah, like it.
I have pickles, he's like, they're just like the other ones, like.
Okay, so.
They're so nice. And they're round and they're like, but they're green.
Yeah, and then this was in their home.
It's hard to say for.
Well, the one that had highway.
Are those the
garden
fun
lights,
ones?
yeah,
Alright,
um,
sure, the fun ones tomorrow.
Okay.
Show Irish your glasses.
Okay,
Irish
this
ones
one's
are your.
still fine.
She got new now.
She hasn't seen her.
Oh, she got the
So
glasses,
this will
yeah.
still be the same. Total.
These are my new glasses.
Okay.
First time I've been in mine, she actually.
Yeah, I know programs,
but
but
I'm very excited.
I want to see the fun pair.
Yeah, it's not fair. I need the right outfit.
Well, right.
I don't check the math by it.
But I mean, the software program is not operating on some basis. So I'm wondering
I
if
think
there's
so.
a mistake inside of the number somewhere. This is wrong.
It is,
Yeah.
just checking because I
But-
attached that to.
Yeah, no, this is correct, but the
Yeah,
software program,
Yeah, the village printing now seems to still chunking out.
yeah, it's making mistakes.
Well, what the mistake was is that for some reason the
That
bracket,
was.
the brackets got.
Yeah, somehow.
I could have been purchased, I don't know.
It didn't go in as negative, right, it didn't go as negative, so then it's perfect on.
So all the numbers, I would keep the numbers just now, but they're all.
Well, this number that's crossed out, that's not.
It was, Bob, it was a positive and
Yeah,
not
we
a
know that
negative.
as a positive number rather than a negative number,
Yeah.
so when it built the total, it added that as a positive number, that's why the total was wrong.
This is calculated from inside the finance software.
No, this
It was inputted by the bookkeeper.
Right, so if it's inputted incorrectly, it would spit out
that wrong, yeah,
incorrectly.
Correct.
So that should be changed inside the software system.
well, I said this like half an hour ago, she probably.
So, well. So, what amounts that would be incorrectly calculated for the general fund?
It apparently only affected the total because the levy is still correct. The levy, this 4,000,007.
Was this sent to the other?
I did not send it down, no, they haven't had copies of it.
Yeah, then,
Hey, Bill, why's the flag at half mast?
Former vice president died.
Dick
Oh,
Cheney.
it was for Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have that on my bingo card, but I appreciate it.
There's Don, you coming in?
Sit down, Don.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on, you keeping one foot out the door?
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, I'm gonna call to order the town, special town board meeting for the. Purpose of hearing, having a public hearing on the town budget. Before we read the announcement, I do want to just put out there that apparently the governor has issued warnings. She issued them yesterday for a storm that's coming, apparently very high winds. I know it seems like maybe New York City is gonna get hit worse, but I do know that they're calling for some winds around here, so. Next 24 hours could be a little exciting, so everybody take care, and if it does get bad, and you can stay in, please do, and let the highway department do what they need to do to get it cleaned up, so,
And Central Hudson sent me a text saying you couldn't push power.
yes.
What
Okay.
was that supposed to start?
I've heard
Different.
different things, the rain is supposed to start in the next hour or two. And I've seen varying things where the high winds are gonna start as early as 8 o'clock and as late as 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, Megan, with that, if you could kindly read the announcement.
At the town board meeting held on October 28, 2025, the board scheduled this public hearing on the preliminary 2026 budget for November 5th, 2025. All members of the public may now be heard regarding the budget.
Any members of the public have comments, questions, thoughts on the budget?
I have a question.
Can you come up here?
Oh, sure. Which side?
Over here. Okay, that's fine.
Michael Beach?
So is your mic on that laptop?
Yes.
So if the closer, so that's the microphone,
Fine.
I got.
Michael?
Yeah, I'm speaking as the chair of the Woodstock Tree Committee. We came and made a presentation to the board. We weren't present, Bill, but we made a presentation with all our plans outlined for the next year and request for $5,000. And I went on the town website today. I couldn't make mine here because the budget is not really presented in a way that the average, chair of a town committee can understand what it says. So I'm up here just asking, the questions. Is there money in the budget to fund the volunteer committees?
Yes,
Next year.
there is a bucket, just like there was this year in the technical line.
Okay, well, I would like to just say that we requested, the tree committee requested a line item and not a bucket. And that I hope that the members of the new town board and the next supervisor are aware that,
We wanted
the
to,
volunteer committees are asking for and would like line item and an actual budget, not have to come back and ask.
duly noted.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Any other members of the public? Iris? Nick, Noah? Alan, Donald's? Okay, any questions from the board?
No, we've had a lot of in-depth conversations and I know Newell spent a lot of time on the budget, I spent a lot of time on the budget. Bennett, we've been in meetings together with Bennett with the different departments and volunteer boards, so
Okay.
I feel like I've crawled through a lot.
Okay, so I just want to note for the record, just for total clarity. We, one of the budget summaries that was sent out was incorrect. And that the general fund on this new sheet that I've handed out here. The unexpended balance that we're using for the general fund is $725,462, which is what we amended it to last week. And the levy went up proportionally to $4,722,482. And the other change that we made was in the Hamlet sewer district, where we increased the revenue to 340,000 for total revenue. 340,936, and we reduced the unexpended balance portion that we're using from 71 and change to $60,515, which changes that bottom line for the unexpended balance to $998,977. Okay?
Yeah.
So with that, I will offer a resolution. Whereas on October 28th, 2025, Woodstock Town Board adopted the preliminary 2026 budget, and whereas providing for proper notice, scheduled a public hearing for November 5th at 6 p.m. Town offices at 45 Como Drive, and whereas such public hearing was open at a time and place of proper notice, and whereas comments and questions from the public were duly entertained. Do you all feel duly entertained? Take that as a yes. Be it resolved. Therefore, wait a second, I missed one. And whereas the proposed 2026 budget levy falls within the limits of the New York State tax capital and therefore does not require. Do you guys need time to talk about something?
Well, we were sorry for something.
Okay, what was, we continue?
Well, I don't know,
Yeah, no, but this just came out a little, came out at the table, so,
Well, it was what we agreed to last week, that you produced at the
Yeah,
table.
but the difference was, what Neil was noting was, the one page does have the library fund and the fire fund on it.
Right.
So that was something that.
This is just for the public.
To know. that-
This is not what we're adopting. That,
Right, we're
that's
adopting.
for public.
yes.
Yeah.
And you'll hear that, and then where's the proposed 2026 budget levy falls within the limits of the New York State tax cap law and therefore does not require special legislation for its adoption, therefore be it resolved to close the public hearing. We have further resolved to enter into the minutes of this proceeding the cover sheet for the 2026 budget indicating the 2026 levies for general highway, garden lighting, Woodstock lighting, Hamlet sewer, onsite sewer and water funds, and be it further resolved to adopt the 2026 budget.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye, so for the.
Aye.
Aye. On the screen, we did receive an updated document, the computer system. Bill mentioned that the computer system had an issue with the general fund, where the 725,462 was positive coming out of that system. So he noted it as negative and everything looks good and it matches the outcome that we all discussed and agreed to.
Alright. So, Anula, you handed me a resolution which we would normally read at the end of the meeting. I have a lengthy resolution regarding the town clerk.
Yeah.
So
So we'll start with that one.
the lengthy one,
Yeah, there are two resolutions that were handed. One is regarding the police officer and the other one is regarding the town clerk.
right, so. The short resolution doesn't address salary or compensation.
So these are actually from Bennett and Bennett, I wanted to print them out and make sure that people at the table have them. So Bennett, did you want to comment on are we starting with the police officer?
No, we're actually starting with we're right now on the agenda.
I know we're.
With the lengthy one.
Brought up the resolution.
Yes, so I'm asking, maybe we can just do this short one,
Yeah,
if we can put a compensation in there.
so Bennett, do you want to address the compensation and the concern around that?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
So this resolution addresses 4 appointments and it also addresses the length of time for those 4 appointments. It does not address the compensation issue. The deputy clerk is currently compensated according to the personnel change request that you submitted. And as the first deputy, the town board can consider a stipend for the first deputy if it so desires. I have asked and received from the bookkeeper the compensation for the deputy clerk, the former deputy clerk, and former first deputy, and for the town clerk. I am trying to find a way to fairly propose compensation for the first deputy that falls above the current deputy clerk compensation that she has. And because I did not receive these things as quickly as I would like to have received them, and because I am not at the meeting tonight, I propose that we go forward with these appointments, which do not require compensation, but may, which is one of the questions that I have, and continue to have the first deputy town clerk serving in her full capacity as the compensation that you had proposed for her when you put the personnel change request in.
That was as a first deputy, not as.
Actually, it was as a deputy town clerk. It is not as a first deputy.
Well, another difference with the proposed, with the resolution that just came to the table tonight, is it doesn't actually appoint Megan as you know, to do the roles of the town clerk. It talks about those additional things that Jackie did. It doesn't even say we're gonna appoint her as town clerk. So I know.
I would like to address that if you don't mind. The first deputy does not need the authorization of the town board to conduct the roles and responsibilities and to receive the protections of the town's insurance. The first deputy is given all of those under New York State town law. It is not the role of the town board to appoint the first deputy. It is not the role of the town board to authorize the first deputy to act in a certain way. When she was appointed, she assumed all of those responsibilities according to New York town law in the event of the vacancy of the town clerk. So as of the 31st, when Jackie Early's resignation took effect, all of the protections and all of the responsibilities evolved or devolved to the first deputy. She already has all the protections and authorizations that she needs.
Done?
Mm-hmm.
So you're proposing that we put this workload on Megan. We ask her to, in essence, be the town clerk for a year, but we don't pay her any more money.
No, I'm not proposing that at all.
Well, then let's pay her the rate that Jackie got paid, which is what the town board did a study 2 years ago and determined that based on the responsibilities of the town clerk, this was fair compensation, and we should fairly give it to Megan. Why would we not pay a woman an appropriate wage? I
am not suggesting that she not be paid an appropriate wage, and I am not suggesting that she should not receive the same amount of compensation. However, she is the first deputy town clerk. She is not the town clerk. And so we need to come up with a vehicle that may in fact be a stipend, unless you want to
why would we do that?
propose that she receive an $82 an hour compensation as deputy town clerk. I don't think that's a good way to do that. That's why I'm trying
In
to.
essence, she's gonna be doing the duties and responsibilities of the town clerk. why would we not compensate her as we did the?
No one is suggesting that we're not going to,
So
Bill.
let's just give Jackie's salary and call it a day.
We cannot give the first deputy Jackie's salary. That is actually not the way that the law works.
According to who?
The New York State town law.
It does not say anything about that, Bennett. It says we can compensate as we see fit.
So exactly what sort of vehicle would you propose?
I would say that we set her salary equal to the town clerk's salary that's in the budget.
But she receives an hourly compensation and the town clerk does not.
She can receive a salary.
The first
No,
deputy, the first
yes.
deputy could receive a stipend. I suppose it could be a salary,
Yes,
but
it's absolutely legal.
this is why I would like to make this calculation in a way that we can all look at it, see that it is what we want as fair and equitable, and then move forward, rather than just this gobbledygook that's on this really long memo.
It's not gobbledygook. We
It is, Bill.
agreed that Jackie's salary for this year was $75,000 and change. Why would we not compensate Megan at the same rate? She's doing all the same
Well,
job.
no one is
same
suggesting that we're
responsibility.
not. You're the only
What?
one who keeps asking the same question.
Well, you haven't provided me with a rational reason not to do that.
Because we don't have the proper way to calculate it and to offer it.
It's a weekly paycheck.
Just for the record, I personally am happy with the way you wrote the resolution. I mean, just so you know, I can't speak for people besides myself, but I thought the way you wrote whoever wrote the resolution, I thought it was very inclusive. I liked the fact, because we did talk with Megan before about that if Megan were to hire somebody, the town board did want to weigh in. The resolution very clearly says, with town board approval, can hire additional clerks, so there's a communication. And then the ability for the town board to approve. So I know that I personally was very comfortable. I also feel that, I don't wanna speak for Megan, but she probably feels a little strong on here, because Megan she's been doing, I think, a fabulous job. She's been providing us additional information even when not asked. She's helping us understand things better. She's, and people I've heard, even Bennett, I think, say, he's only heard good things about her from the contacts he's made of people organizations that he's worked with. So I hear people saying they're only hearing good things about Megan, and the fact that we're being so hesitant to put Megan in a role that it seems to me that she's a perfect match for, and people are giving great feedback on. Well, people, Bennett usually starts coughing when I say I've been a manager in a large company for 30 years, but I have been. And I'm not happy with treating employees with disrespect. It goes against my grain. We were taught respect the individual. That's how, when I spent my 30 years in management, that's just how our company worked. And I am not happy disrespecting Megan. I'm not happy disrespecting Michelle. I feel like we're disrespecting the clerk's office. The clerk's office has been wonderful. Wonderful. And I know that Jackie, in bringing Megan on, her goal was to keep the town clerk's office being wonderful. I appreciate everything you both are doing, and I am not happy that I feel there is disrespect. And I understand Bennett can have his opinion, Maria Lane can have her opinion, Anula hasn't really spoken on this topic in this meeting, but I respect everybody can have their opinion. My opinion is, we got two fabulous people here. They want to work together. Megan's willing to step up to the job. We've heard wonderful things about Megan. It seems disrespectful to string Megan along and to string Michelle along, because they are our employees. We are the management team for the employees. And how are they gonna know what the heck we're doing here? Because we're just dragging our feet for whatever reason. We have an opening. We have an opening in the assessor's office, oh, by the way, so we have no assessor right now, and for us to have no town clerk and no assessor. We as a 5-member board, in my opinion, need to get our act together and let's start filling some of these roles that are critical to Woodstock.
So if.
I
if
just want to
could-
interject very quickly that it's not about disrespecting loyal employees. It's about doing our due diligence. And if we need extra time so that we can work out calculations, I think that's very important. Not only is it important to be transparent doing this process, but it's also allowing the next town board to come on board knowing that we have done our due diligence. So people deserve exactly, all the hard work that they put into. Absolutely, they'll be compensated, but we have to do it in a transparent manner.
If I could.
Wait, you can't get much more transparent than sitting at town board. Be nice if you were actually here where the public could see you, but you're
If I
not.
could just
And you've
answer.
you've
Thanks
had
for
a
the
month.
mansplaining. That's great. Awesome.
You've had a month
If I could
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
answer.
to do your due diligence.
If I could just answer a few of Laura's comments. If you will look at the resolution where it says, now therefore be it, this is the resolution that was submitted by the supervisor, I assume, that's on the proposed agenda, where it says, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of Woodstock hereby authorizes the first deputy to assume and perform all statutory, administrative, and operational duties of the town clerk effective immediately. That is actually incorrect. The town board has no authority to authorize the first deputy to assume and perform those duties. The town clerk, when she appointed Megan as first deputy, all of those were her responsibilities already in the event that the town clerk vacated the office. So that section right there.
You know what, Bennett, though?
There's another section, Bill, please. The next
Let's
section.
get back
it
on
says-
track.
It says authorizes the first deputy town clerk
Yes,
to assume and
Bennett,
perform.
I'm
Bill,
willing to go with,
I'm trying to
willing
explain.
Go with your short version.
Stop
If we
cutting
had
him off.
compensation in there. So I have no problem shortening.
Bill, I'm
up
trying
and
to
going-
explain each of the sections and why they are not correct and why it is premature to set the compensation according to the way that you have proposed in this resolution.
You just don't want to pay her.
That is incorrect. That is an accusation. That is a bald-faced
So let me ask
fucking
you a
lie,
little-
Bill.
where do you
Bill,
stand?
you are putting words in people's mouths. It is not correct. You heard what I said.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
You are not telling the truth.
Well, now that was personal,
Yeah.
that was making it personal. So
That's right. You're not telling the
personal,
truth.
Let's not say things like that.
Anula,
So
what's your feelings on
So the items
compensation?
that we agree on is that Megan, your salary needs to change in one way, shape or form. We agree that you are taking on those responsibilities and we want to give you those responsibilities. Is there an effective date for if and maybe we should be thinking about an effective date for Megan to take on tax collector, vital statistics, all of that. So that's one way that we could possibly improve this situation. What I'm concerned about is, I think that in civil service, you may be listed inappropriately. So I would like a chance to make sure you are the first deputy. And then I know that, 2 weeks ago, we paid a voucher. So someone from the supervisor's office contacted an attorney to find out how to hire you. The town board at that point in time, my understanding is that you were hired appropriately as a first deputy. However, the town board never had a chance to set your salary, and that was part B of the hiring. So
That's not true.
it actually is true.
It isn't.
And so
Just let
what,
her finish, please.
right.
Don't interrupt you.
I'll interrupt if you stop interrupting.
So what I suggest is, and I'm happy to take this on and be responsible for it, is figuring out in the next couple of days. Make sure everything is good, you're listed in civil service correctly. If there's a change that needs to happen there, we'll make that happen, and if necessary, we can back pay Megan to pay her appropriately for the work that she has done.
that seems ludicrous. to me.
Then vote no.
And for.
That
the-
sounds
the other thing
perfectly
is
fine.
I
that-
don't know what's
Hold
going on.
on, I can interrupt you now, I'm gonna speak. The town board did weigh in when we adopted the budget last year and set the salaries for the town clerks. So we did set her salary. She's filling Lynn's position. And that's the salary she's getting, so it was done properly. So. Megan,
Supervisor,
we're
you're-
gonna have to assume all the responsibilities that Jackie had, and we're gonna tell her that we wanted to continue to do it at the salary. That she was hired at.
So.
Supervisor, you're
what is-
conflating
what
two
is the-
different
hold on,
things.
let me-
Keep repeating
What is the
something that's
problem?
incorrect though, right? So there's no.
According to you,
There,
what's the
there's no
problem?
there's no problem, just let me help you.
What's the incorrect information?
Is it a problem or incorrect information? So very simply, we're looking to do our due diligence. Make sure things are fine and appropriately pay Megan as first deputy. What is the issue with that?
But if she has all the responsibilities of the town
We are
clerk,
about to give her some more responsibility,
correct,
okay? And so what is the issue with taking some time to validate what another council person found?
well, he's had a month to do it, I would say that then I would not. Want to offer this resolution, if we're not gonna compensate her at this point. Then. We should not do it until we're ready to compensate her.
So I would
It's
just like to,
totally ludicrous.
I would just like to state that.
Is-
That when Jackie Early was appointed to the 4 positions of Registrar of Vital Statistics and Records Management and Tax Collector and Records Access Officer, she was not offered compensation for those 4
She
positions.
was already getting compensated.
No, well, Bill, so in addition, she was offered as the town clerk to be appointed as the media person. So there are multiple differing pathways that compensation could or should be given. And they were not done correctly by you. I hate to say that. And that's
Your,
what I
again,
found out.
Bennett, that's your opinion.
Well, I think getting back to, I know.
When you're following the law.
Okay, I'd like to speak, I'd like to take a turn now. So I heard Anula say she'd like to spend more time to investigate. It seems we should probably put on hold, and I hate to say it, it's been a month, I know. We should probably put on hold both of these resolutions, because I agree we shouldn't be asking Megan to do more until we're ready to pay her. Was that?
Absolutely,
Absolutely, no, you know, like.
absolutely, you should not be asking her. I agree, I said it earlier, I wouldn't offer either one.
So,
If we're not ready to give her the compensation,
so I make a motion to table both of these,
we haven't, they're not on the table.
then on the table.
Neither one was offered,
We've been discussing,
but
okay,
neither one's offered.
you're pulling them off, okay, all right.
The reason that I
You know
do,
what?
if that's,
Let me ask you, how much time do you need?
I don't know, I'll get back to you
Our
tomorrow.
next meeting is the 18th.
Yeah. Yes, it's certainly before the 18th, that's plenty
Can
of
I
time.
just say something? I know, but as deputy. I just wanna say that, and you actually brought it up a little beforehand. About the time frame of when she has to be appointed. So I will let you guys know that. We monthly, at the end of each month, we have to send out reports to the state, to decals, to even to the town supervisor. She cannot sign those checks. I cannot sign those checks. The only person who can sign those checks has to be appointed,
Has to be appointed as,
town clerk. Or
so
first
the
deputy.
first
or
deputy
could be
has
able to
the,
Go to the,
right,
We have to be clear that Megan is given the responsibilities.
she has to be given that responsibility in order to be able to sign those checks, because now. We're gonna be behind and we can't send those checks out to anybody.
right,
And if it doesn't happen, like, come time for tax collector, we have to start paying Ulster County within like a month after we start collecting.
Yeah.
So it's like the process is like,
and thank you for that.
I'm just worried about that
Yeah.
because we have these things that
I
we have to do, and I don't want then the town to get penalized because we're not sending out those checks on time.
Yeah, and all of us view Megan as the first deputy, but new information popped up about civil service, so. I openly said I'm gonna jump on this, I'm gonna jump on it, and we'll figure it out.
I just don't
So
want to
let
push
me
it out
ask
to
you
like,
something.
mid-December, because we really need to get these things done.
Totally agree.
If
don't
we had a
have problems.
special, if we had a special meeting
Bill, I
Tuesday,
said I'd get back to you tomorrow.
if we had a special meeting
I
next
said I would
Tuesday.
get back to you tomorrow.
With a time frame.
I'm asking,
Timeframe.
But
But you already asked, I answered.
Well, hypothetically speaking, is there any value to having a meeting this Tuesday in the event you would be ready? I know you won't be able to say if you're ready until.
I can't
tomorrow.
answer that question right now.
I know you don't
I'll
know.
get back to everybody tomorrow.
Well, I think I was just trying to get calendars reserved.
Don't worry about it.
As a.
don't worry about it, Laura, don't worry about
The
it.
18th, okay, okay. But
Be
we think-
resolved, the
think that-
Woodstock Town Board authorizes the highway superintendent to place the attached list of items up for surplus, and be it further resolved to authorize the highway superintendent to use his discretion to accept or reject any or all bids.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No,
Okay, so, on advice of council, this next one, this is a very long resolution. And I would ask the, clerk, put the entire resolution into the minutes, but I'm gonna read an abridged edition. And it's the beginning. Whereas a bond resolution dated November 5th, 2025, the town board, town of Woodstock, to Ulster County, New York town, authorizing additional funding for the construction, reconstruction, renovation, and improvements of the Woodstock Public Library District at an estimated maximum cost of $300,000, authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $300,000 of the town pursuant to the local finance law to finance such purpose. Such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of sale of such bonds to the supervisor. Therefore, be it resolved, the Woodstock Town Board approves the attached bonding resolution. Be it further resolved, the town clerk to authorize to enter the attached resolution into the minutes of this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. He's a really long.
It's a really long one.
I'm an
Okay.
I.
Be it resolved to authorize the Woodstock Town Supervisor to sign the MOU with the Hudson Valley Regional Council regarding the installation of biofilters at Woodstock landfill.
Second.
All in favor? Discuss.
I put a call into Eleanor Peck to ask about the character of the biofilters, what the maintenance on the biofilters would be, what the effect would be on the methane gases that the biofilters were filtering out. I'm waiting to hear back from that. I don't believe there is a timetable on this. This is an EPA grant that Hudson Valley Regional Coalition has. They are looking for different towns to do this. I would ask that we table this until we get a couple of answers about the biofilters.
Well, I would suggest that you reach out to Mary Lambert.
I'd like to second that.
Who I included in the email I sent you 3 months ago. So, okay, be resolved to hire Sean White to a 90-day full-time temporary police officer effective November 5th, 2025, at an hourly rate $30.
So.
Discuss.
Wait, did you say full-time temporary?
So this is, yeah, okay,
Should
so
be
the
full-time permanent, right?
only change here is that he's permanent, not temporary, that was. by-
Somebody wants to make that motion. I think we should keep him at, he's newly out of the academy. I think we should give him a trial run.
Well,
So-
the chief is here and I did see an email from the chief, talking about permanent.
I think it's a bad idea, but I don't think we should go into executive session if we want to talk about individuals. So if we want to vote on this, you want to table it and go into executive session after we do the rest of the agenda.
So I would like to offer the amendment that states that it.
Well, I would like to have discussion on that. And
Well,
we
then
should-
let me offer it and let somebody second it and then let's discuss it.
Well, there's a
I
resolution.
seconded that, Bennett, what you said.
Well, without speaking about people, Bill, can you explain when somebody's a temporary officer, that is a 30-day temporary?
Let's go into executive session.
But I mean, I'm not asking a question about a person, I'm asking a question about the.
I know, but let's.
The chief has recommended that this person be a full-time permanent employee.
That's fine, but let's go
town
into
board has-
executive session and have
The
a
town board has
conversation.
met in executive session with this employee. We have all looked at this employee's personnel file. I went and spoke to the employee when he came off of the midnight shift at 6:30 a.m. With the chief this week, and we discussed his work.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. If you want to go into executive session, that's okay too, but I
Okay.
certainly believe.
One executive session, because I know that we ought to all be communicating, and clearly you have things you want to communicate.
So I'm gonna table this now, let's go through the rest and then.
So regarding executive session, will the chief be present?
He can be
I mean,
president.
he should be, right? Because
He
if
should
there's
be.
an issue, we all need to know about it,
Yes.
okay?
Okay. Be it resolved. Actually, why don't we just table this and we can maybe have the young man come in at the next meeting and we can
Have
go.
executive
executive.
session.
That's
Executive
perfect.
session.
Perfect.
So we'll have executive session to start the next meeting,
Perfect.
which is the 18th.
Be it resolved, the Woodstock Town Board schedule a public hearing for amendments to the town of Woodstock zoning law, chapter 260, amendments to scenic overlay regulations for November 18th, 2025 at 7:15 p.m. Town offices, 45 Como Drive, Woodstock, should say New York. Be it further resolved, the town board authorizes the town clerk to advertise said public hearing in the official town newspaper.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
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 Whereas the town of Woodstock Water Department received 2 bids for installation of an outlet transfer switch for portable generator at Pump House 2. And whereas CDE Electrical Inc. submitted the low bid $14,580. Therefore be it resolved, the Woodstock Town Board accept the bid from CDE Electric Inc.
Second,
All in favor? Discuss.
I'm confused. We've already purchased a portable generator for Pump House 2, correct?
Yes, we need
And
the
it's-
plug to make it work.
And it's not in service at Pump House 2?
No,
So is there any sort of generator that's in service at Pump House
no,
2?
that's why we want to get the plug so that there is.
So what have we been doing with this portable generator the entire time that it hasn't had a plug?
Not sure, Bennett.
You're not sure.
I don't know.
Why not?
Don't know. Ask Larry.
Okay, so I would like to table this and I will ask
Just let it
Larry.
continue to sit there.
I don't understand. We purchased something that we didn't have a plug for? Is that correct?
Do we want to move forward or do we not want to move forward?
Supervisor, I'm asking if we purchased a generator that we didn't have a plug for.
No, we knew that we needed to put a plug in.
We did?
Yes, we did.
I'm not aware of that. I thought the thing was up and running.
Okay. it
How
isn't
many
up
months
and
has
running.
this been
Do you-
going
Do
on?
we want to move forward with this? Or do we want to keep grandstanding on it? Your call.
I'd like to
Can
table
you just
this.
answer the question? Yeah, let's table it. If you can't answer the question, let's just table it.
Table it, leave it be. Whereas the on-site septic system at 30 Oriole Drive, Woodstock, New York is in need of more extensive repair due to high water table and poor soil conditions. And whereas Everhard Excavation LLC, Dennis Larios of Benir Larios PC and Water Sewer Superintendent Larry Allen concur there is need to bring in additional fill, therefore be it resolved, Woodstock Town Board approves the additional work to be done at 30 Oriole Drive by Everhard Excavation LLC for the cost of $43,450, and be it further resolved, transfer an amount up to $43,000 from the on-site repair reserve funds SM 2401.002, and whereas the transfer of up to $43,000 from the on-site repair reserve fund SM 2401.001 is subject to progressive referendum as it relates to Article 7 New York State Town Law. Be it further resolved, town clerk is directed to place the following notice, in the official newspaper of the town. On November 5th, 2025, Woodstock Town Board adopted a resolution authorizing the transfer of up to $43,000 from the on-site repair reserve fund SM 2401.001, the repair of two. Should say for on-site, for an on-site septic system, this resolution. Subject to permissive referendum pursuant to the provisions of Article 7 of New York State Town Law by order of the Woodstock Town Board.
Second,
Discuss.
Discuss.
Yes.
Alright, so the total proposed cost was originally $10,000.
Yes,
So is this,
give or take,
okay,
yeah,
and then, they open up the ground, I'm phrasing it as a statement, but it's really a question. And then they suddenly realize that they need another $43,000.
correct. Because what they found when they opened up the hole, if you talk to Dennis, I think you did talk to him, actually. What they found that the soil condition in the system was so poor that there was absolutely no drainage. They dug a hole down 30 inches and they found over 24 inches of water. So the system is not bleeding out. And so what they're gonna need to do is expand the system greatly. Basically, they're gonna put a new system in. Now, part of the issue is if you look at their bid, they need to put that they can't come in on the person's driveway. They're gonna have to actually cut a road in on the other side to get to it. And there's also a shed in the way that the property owners are agreeable to moving, so that's in there as well. It's an expensive fix.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
The resolution